It is Monday, May 9th of 2022. And this is Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive, the show that asks the continuing question, why does a 60-plus-year-old man talk to himself in his car through Facebook twice a week? It's unfathomable. Nobody knows. Nobody has the answer. So, I will keep doing it anyway. A couple things. The weekend went well. We recorded the My Mac podcast. I wasn't sure if Gaz was going to be on because he had a rugby honors dinner to do. But I got together with Carl from the Mac and Forth show, and he was going to come on. And as it turned out, Gaz was available at the relatively early hour for me that we were recording at. So that was good news. So they had all three of us. I was outnumbered. By the Brits. That's okay too. While I was at one of the stoplights just before recording, and I'm rambling obviously, there was a car. It was a Fiat 500, and it was this mustard yellow color, and it was really, just awful looking. And I can never quite figure out why people choose some of the colors that they do for their cars. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, what were you thinking? And sometimes those colors are really super popular. However, something being popular to me doesn't always mean that it's a good choice. And mustard yellow, bright mustard yellow, you look like you're an advertisement for hot dog mustard. That's what the car looked like. And I drive a Kia, and I'll find out later what the verdict is on getting them to start the oil consumption test for this car, and I'm hoping for good news. However, Kia's corporate is involved, so I'm not expecting good news, because when you as a little person need something from a big corporation, they're typically going to do what's in their best interests, regardless of the fact that you are their customer and that you are the owner of something that they manufactured. It just doesn't matter to them. They're still going to do what's best for them, because in the long run, as with most corporations, you don't particularly matter that much. And, I throw Apple. I'll throw Apple in there as well. Apple does lots of stuff that I don't agree with, that as a corporation is in their best interests and not mine. That's just the way corporations work. All right, come on. All right, okay, there you go. Yeah, I know, for people who are listening to the audio portion of this, and you're sometimes wondering why I suddenly veer off the topic that I was speaking about, remember, I'm driving a car, so the other drivers around me sometimes do things that require me to pay more attention to what it is that they're doing, as compared to the general sense of attention that you should be paying while driving a car. You should be paying attention to what everyone is doing. But sometimes there are people who do things that force you to kind of say, okay, I'm going to block out a good portion of what everyone else is doing to make sure that you don't do something dumb. Sometimes you are rewarded and that person doesn't do the dumb thing. Sometimes, in spite of your best intentions, they still do the dumb. Sometimes you're the one doing the dumb. For example, recording a podcast while driving to work. That might be a dumb. Some people might think it's a dumb. However, colors of cars, that's what we were talking about. Again, just because a color is popular doesn't necessarily make it a good idea. For example, this very car that I'm driving, which is how I ended up on that other tangent, it's a Kia Soul. This car originally came out, I want to say 2006, 2007, maybe a little bit earlier than that, I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention to it because at the time, it wasn't something that was big enough for me to drive. This car did not become big enough for me to drive until 2014, when they changed the body style to what it is that I'm driving right now is a 2016. But one of the most popular colors for this car, and I'm sure anyone who has seen these cars out and about, was this weird alien green. And I think that's actually what they called it, alien green. And it was terrible. I mean, it was very noticeable. And if driving a car that is very noticeable is what you want to do, well, then going with mustard yellow or alien green is probably an excellent choice. But to me, it looked awful. And when I first started looking for one of these cars in the 2014 and up range, one of the first things I noticed when I would do like a broad search on various car sites was that a good number of them was that really awful green color. And I passed by a lot of cars that would have been very suitable because I didn't like the color. You know, here's the thing. There's a lot about cars that you can decide, especially if you're buying a new car. And one of those choices is color. You're buying a new car, and unless you're buying off the lot, you can select the color that you want amongst the available colors that that car is in. And that's fine. That's, you know, something that you should do. You should buy a car that is the color that you want, with the options that you want. But when you buy a used car, your options are amongst the choices that other people made when they bought that car. So if you're looking for particular options, in my case, I didn't want the 1.6 liter engine, so I didn't want the base model, and I wanted CarPlay with the LCD display. And from 2014 to 2017, which was the time frame in which I was looking to buy a car, this car, those two options limited my choices. So as I would put those in to the search criteria, other cars would go away, and I would be looking at a variety of cars that had the options that I wanted. But many of them were that weird alien green. I didn't want a car that was weird alien green. I also didn't particularly want a white car or a black car or several of the other color choices, because, you know, and what I don't like buying a car for is, or buying a car with, is something that makes it super stand out amongst other cars. I prefer a car that just kind of blends into the background. Because when I drive long distance, as I do a few times a year, I like to drive fast, or faster than the speed limit, I should say. Not like dangerously super, 90 plus miles an hour fast, just not 55 to 70 miles an hour fast. I want to go faster than that. And it's law enforcement's job to find the people that want to drive faster than that and hand them a slip of paper that is going to cost them money, the driver money, to the benefit of whatever organization that particular law enforcement officer works for. That's their job. I don't begrudge them their job. There are perfectly legitimate reasons why speed limits are set. Mostly because there's a lot of people out there who will drive at ridiculously insane speeds if you didn't tell them that there is a limit to how fast you can go. And the funny thing is, so many of these people that like to drive that fast also drive cars that stand out, that are noticeable. So as they're going ludicrous speed down interstate highways, the police are picking up on them right away. There you go. Come on. So I don't like to do that. I like to have a car that just kind of blends into the background. So as I'm driving along my faster than legally allowed speed, I'm not standing out. I'm kind of blending in with everybody else that's going at roughly the same speed, or even maybe a little bit slower. And then I just kind of slide across to another lane while slowing the car down to a better speed. And this has served me quite well over the years. I've only gotten, well, at least since I've been married, I've gotten 2 speeding tickets. That's nearly 30 years. 2 speeding tickets while driving faster than normal. So I'm okay with that, because you can't get away with everything all the time. But it's not just like alien green that makes cars noticeable. Some of the color choices that are around right now, and I normally wouldn't have noticed it, but my wife pointed it out, is you've got these browns and blues and greens and some of the other colors as well that have this particular quality. It almost looks not glossy. They're almost flat, but in a shiny way. It's difficult to describe. But look at a relatively new car that's like brown or blue or something, not black, because black it's not going to really stand out that much. Same thing with white cars. They're not going to stand out that much. But like brown, blue, green, and look at the color, the way that it's expressed over the surface of the car as compared to maybe even the car that you're driving. And the color is flat. I don't understand why they've started doing that. I don't think it's a particularly flattering look, but this is what they're doing now. So flat colors on cars. Don't get alien green, and don't go super fast and drive a car that'll be noticeable when you like to drive fast, because then you'll get a ticket. Those are the life lessons for today. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to educate you all on all of these things, and you should be paying attention, because I'm so scary smart. Yeah. If you want to get a hold of me and say, Guy, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I won't be able to tell you, but you can ask by sending me an email to podcast@vertshark.com or guy@mymac.com. You can reach out to me on the Twitters. I am MacParrot and VertShark over there on the Twitters. VertShark.com is my website, where all of the odds and all of the vids, mostly about technology, are there. I also do the mymac.com podcast nearly every single week with Gaz. We are coming up on show 900. We have absolutely nothing planned special for show 900, and probably won't. We'll just sit there and go, yay, show 900, hooray. Good for us. Good for us. What else? What else is there? You can help support the things that I do, if you are so inclined, by going to Patreon, patreon.com/ actually, that's a terrible place for me to park my car, so I'm not going to park it there. Patreon.com/ MacParrot. You can buy me a coffee at coffee.com/ MacParrot, or pay a pal at paypal.me/ MacParrot. You don't have to. I mean, I'll keep doing this anyway, just because I can. But that is going to do it for today. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me on Guy's Daily Drive. It is greatly appreciated, and I will see you later on in the week again on, Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.